Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of
Talking with Purpose.
Hablando con Propósito. I feel bilingual today. I feel great. Today's episode, I would like for you to touch on it. Please start.
So we are on number 4 of love languages, and it is quality time.
Quality time. Oh, man. And let's be honest with our audience. The last few days, she's been throwing around that phrase, quality time. So can you express why, or you want to get right into it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it
Okay, good.
as we go through. So you guys know that we are very honest, and we try to be as open and transparent as possible because we are human, just like anybody else.
Right.
And hopefully through our experiences, we're able to relate to some people, and you can see that you're not the only ones that struggle with whatever.
Right.
So
I agree.
quality time is all about how you spend the time that you have together. No matter what you are doing, if you are attentive and focused, your partner will be loved. So I was telling Les this as I was studying on this because we read the book. So I do remember, but I didn't realize how much quality time means to me until I started like really reading about it.
Yes, that's true.
Because it's not about sitting next to somebody like Les. He just wants me next to him, right? It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be on my phone, I can be on the computer, I could be watching TV. He just wants me next to him. Versus me, I want the quality. I want the put your phone away, talk to me, let's have a conversation. Don't preoccupy your mind with anything else but me at
Right.
that time.
Yep. As soon as she started looking into this episode, she was like, man, I think this is my primary. Because if you go back on the other episodes, she said that she didn't know, right?
Mhm.
Which one was her primary love language. So in studying this one, she realized that this is hers. For me, can I say what quality time is for me?
Mhm.
You already touched on it, but I want to elaborate. Quality time for me is just being next to the person I want to be next to. We could watch the same thing. Little conversation here and there. In quality time, conversation for me is not really that important. It's more about the presence of the person. Like, man, I like chilling with this person, you know? And it's weird because I'm a conversationalist. So I like to conversate, but I don't know. Quality time for me is different than what it is for you.
hmm Well, in the definition of quality time with this love language, it specifically says it's about the quality of the time that you spend together, not the quantity. So it's not that you always have to be next to a person. It's that when you are with that person, it has to be attentive communication, attentive quality time to where you feel like you're the only person that that person is worrying about,
Right, right.
you know? When you're with your partner, you put down the cell phone, you put down the tablet, you just focus on them. And this could be for friendships too, you know, and this is something that we both struggle with. And it's hard. We were talking about this last night with social media and just technology in general. It makes quality time so much harder because it's so easy to be distracted nowadays.
I think that for those who quality time is their primary, social media could get in the way and destroy. Like for you,
Mm-hmm.
social media, for her, it gets in her way and destroys her, not destroys your mood, right? No. It
Like,
just,
what do you mean? Like, if you're doing something when I'm trying to
yeah,
talk to
like
you?
if I'm doing something and like the other day.
Yeah, it
while
makes
I
me
was on my
mad.
phone and I'm watching a video and right in the middle of the video, I hear her voice. And then I'm like, I just continue and it finished. Then I say, what, babe? And she was like, nothing. I'm like, no, I heard you. She's like, no, never mind. It's okay. I'm like, no, it's not. Now I'm aggravated. No, it's not okay. You were talking and now I'm ready to listen. I was doing something and I told her, I'm just watching a quick video and I'll get back to you. But because this is her primary, that's why it bothers her the way it does.
But I also feel like, okay, so in this instance, I had my back towards him. So I didn't realize he was into whatever he was watching. Because you know how it is. You get on social media and you just start scrolling, right? So I didn't realize that he was into what he was watching. So I just started a conversation. My back is towards him because I'm working. And then when I'm finished talking and he goes, "What you said?" And I was like, "Forget it. Like, I don't even," and I started laughing and he's like, "Just repeat it." And I'm like, "I don't want to." I literally just said, "I don't want to," because I didn't want to repeat what I just said. I literally had a whole conversation by myself. You know what I mean? But I didn't realize that he was into what he was doing. So it's one of those things to where it's like it could get frustrating, right? Because you got mad because I wouldn't repeat it. Eventually I did, but at the time I was like, I don't even want to talk anymore. Like, forget it.
So now I'm going to tell you how I felt about that. When she didn't repeat it, I felt like this flame bubbling under me. And I'm like, see, because in my mind it's like, why can't you just say it one more time? I'm ready to listen to you now. My bad that I didn't hear you. That's my fault. But now I'm ready. I want to talk. Go ahead, tell me. But she be like, no, I don't want to repeat it. Oh, man. That right there could get hard. I don't know if God, maybe in your relationship, you're the one where this is your primary. To your girlfriend or your wife, it isn't. So you probably feel the way I feel, or you probably feel the way she feels. In the comment section, drop what you think about this. Because I know I'm not the only one, bro. There's no way. You think, am I the only one that...
No, I don't think you're the
be
only
like, come
one.
on, man, stop being extra, babe, man.
But it's not about being extra. It's about, in my mind, the level of effort that it took for me to go through this whole thing and then to have to repeat it all over again. Because to me, what I was talking about was important.
Mm-hmm.
So,
by the way, I still don't know what it was.
we were talking about it last night. It was about that YouTube video.
Okay, never mind.
That I was trying to share with you.
Okay, that's what it was, my bad.
So to me, what I was saying was important and he wasn't listening. But again, I didn't realize, like, had I turned around and been like, oh, he into the video, I'm not even going to start a conversation, which most of the time I do. If he's on his phone or he's just whatever, and I know that he can't dedicate full attention to me, I won't even bother because I know that it makes me that upset that you're not listening to me. You know, so I won't even start the conversation, you know. And something about me and Les, I don't know how you guys are with your relationships, but me and Les are very open and honest with each other. And if something bothers him, he tells me, just like if something bothers me, I tell him. You know, so that's something that communication is key. So when it comes to this, if your love language is quality time and it's very important to you, not necessarily the amount of quality time, but that the time be focused on you, then you need to reiterate that. It could be, again, we're talking about love languages, so this is also for your friendships. You know, like you could have a friend that you try to talk to and they always on their phone, then you'd be like, yo, like, I'm trying to talk to you about something that's important to me, like, can you pay attention? You know, so something, you know, communication is such a huge thing, and I feel like nowadays these kids, they lack that skill.
Yeah,
they lack the skill of communication.
Well, you look at how the kids now are growing up, and we're guilty of this too, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tablets.
Right.
We've used tablets to
entertain
them, to get them, you know,
get
in one side of the house, get out of my face, go over there. Then there's moments where we see that if they don't have it,
they don't know what to do with
they
themselves.
don't know, you know, and those moments is where it's like, oh God, man. Like, so it's kind of like a gift and a curse. We need it to get our little break here and there,
right?
But it's horrible. So this generation now, the way you guys are growing up, I can't even imagine how your social lives is going to be when you get my age, when you turn 40 years old, or maybe in your 30s or late 20s.
Right.
How are you going to interact with the world? Because the world is still going to be the world.
Right.
You're stuck in a thing where you don't have to be social. Now, are there going to be more remote jobs? Possibly, right? That I think that's one thing that'll go with the time. I think maybe companies will start picking up on it and say, you know, because also COVID showed us that being remote saves the company a lot of money
Money.
by not having to pay rent for an actual building.
Right.
So quality time is so important to us that sometimes we have to use the tablet.
Right.
Like, here, go over there and watch the tablet. Me and daddy are trying to talk. Me and mommy are trying to talk. Just go. And we even use candy, bro. Babe, be
You want a
real.
lollipop.
Lollipop. We'll use lollipops. Here, go. It's just so we can have that quality time.
It's hard when you have 4 kids.
Now, yes, it's hard when you have 4 kids. But also, can we, my wife and I, do better with choosing a time to have quality time where we're not disturbed? Absolutely. Because of my work schedule and because of her work schedule, we have to
It
do
takes
it.
effort.
Yeah, it takes some effort.
Yeah, and scheduling. And we were talking about that last night. Again, me and Les are talkers. We talk about everything. Even though a lot of kids are being raised like that and they really do lack that communication skill aspect of it, but our kids, we really try to make sure that they're good communicators. For example, yesterday I took a walk with Saray and we were talking, so that's how we are able to get our kids to be better communicators, is just talking to them, asking them open-ended questions. How was your day? It was good. Okay, what did you do today? What did you learn today? These are things that as parents we have to make a conscious effort to do, especially in a world where all they want is technology.
And also, quality time is not only for friendships or relationships, but also with parents and their kids.
Right.
It's very important, especially now in age, how these kids are growing up, that we as the parent see where their connection is and we disconnect them. By disconnecting them and having that, like she said, open-ended questions with our children, that's going to help them grow in a level where right now you don't see it happening.
Yep. So, for example, with Saray, the boys are a little bit older, so I feel like when you're in the teenage years, it gets a little harder. Saray is 9. We went to a Girl Scouting event, and it was about NASA. And the guy, it was an older gentleman. He must have been in his 60s. And he looks at me and he says, she is a great communicator.
Come on.
She asks so many amazing questions. And as a parent, I felt proud. I was like,
Absolutely.
okay, I'm doing something right. But it's those little things that you really don't think about, because if they don't have the skill of communication now as a child, imagine how hard it's going to be for them as an adult to be able to communicate things, and then they're just holding. What does holding create? Depression, anxiety, fear, right?
Yep.
So we need to teach our kids how to let go of all of these things in a positive way, in a nice way. Right? How can you express what you're feeling without feeling like you're being disrespectful or you're being mean, without feeling like you're hurting somebody's feelings? But you have to be able to communicate how you feel.
Communicating how you feel and giving them or your spouse or your girlfriend that open-ended area where they can be like, well, you ask them a question and now it's open-ended. So what an open-ended thing does, it allows you to explain your side of the story, your side of whatever's bothering you. Keep that open-ended communication between you guys, and we do that, and
Yes.
it helps us a lot.
Right. So another thing that we would say is avoid giving advice when they're not asking for it. So
Yes.
with
Oh,
some
yeah.
people where quality time is their love language, right? We're talking about they want your undivided attention. So it could just be that I'm like, babe, let me talk to you about something. This is going on. With him, I can tell him like, I don't want your opinion. I just want to tell you what I'm thinking. Which last night we had this conversation, and we're at a level where he can respect my choice to not
Right.
want to hear what he has to say
Yeah.
and just listen. So you have to also be mindful of that and not get offended that somebody tells you something like that.
Yeah. My bad. You got to be a listener. Don't be a listener and a talker. There's a time for you to be a talker, and there's a time for you to be a listener. Understand that if your partner, the person you're in a relationship with, is one that is about quality time and communication, give them that space. That space is very important. Last night, while she was talking, I just let her talk, but I listened. I listened to everything. I let her talk. But you know what I did? I fell asleep, bro. I'm
He
going to talk
did.
about it. I fell asleep, and then, like, I woke up, and then she's like, I woke up, and I'm like, uh-huh. Like, I tried to act
Like he wasn't just sleeping.
like I didn't fall asleep. And she's like, it's okay. You fell asleep, babe. It's okay. I'm like, no, my bad. So now I'm trying to shake it off. Like, oh, my God, how could I do that? But I was so tired yesterday. I had
And
a
it
long
was
day.
late. It was like 10:30.
Yeah, it was you. That's way past our bedtime, by the way.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was tough, but just give them that time and be a listener, bro. Don't talk. Don't
Yesterday
talk.
I was listening to We're Hot on Myron Goldman. If you don't know who he is, look him up on
Look
YouTube.
him up, man. What a blessing he is to us and to many others, I bet.
And he said that he heard once somebody said that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can do double the listening and less speaking.
Come on.
And that's something that hit home for me because we do it to everybody, right? You always want to give somebody your opinion, like, oh, I went through that. Let me talk to you about it. But unless they're asking you for it, like, just keep your mouth shut or ask. If
Yeah.
you know,
I
like,
was about to say that. Ask and then be like, wait for them to ask. What do you think? Oh, bro,
oh,
look,
you sure
I'll tell you
wanna
what.
know?
I'll tell you what. When people talk to me and they say, what do you think? I'm jumping in. So if you're watching this and you tell me, what do you think, Les? Woohoo! I'm jumping in.
That
I'ma
goes
give
for
you
both
my-
of us.
Yeah.
And be careful because you
And
might
I'ma
not
give
like
you
it.
my thought.
We're
Yes.
honest people.
Yes, I'm going to give you what I feel.
We're definitely honest people, and it's a you either love us or you hate us. You know what I mean? But the people that are close knit with us, that's one thing that when they call us, they're like, I'm calling you because I know that you're gonna tell me the truth.
Right.
And that's what you get with us.
Yes.
You know? So resist the urge to do something else while your partner is talking.
That one's hard for me.
Yes.
Yep.
So if I'm talking to you, just as an example, if I go to your house and we talking, don't pick up your phone while I'm mid conversation, cause you about to lose a friend. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's so disrespectful.
When you go over somebody's house, understand that that person that invited you over wants
To spend time with you.
to spend quality time with you.
Right.
It could be a movie
Right.
or whatever, but they want to spend quality time with you. That's why they invited you over to their home.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge that and know that if you get an invite, the next time you get an invite, know that, you know, it's not just for dinner.
Right.
There's some talk that's going to be involved. And, you know, with that talk, they're trying to get to know you, vice versa. Take that time and really bask in that because that's what they're asking you to go over for.
Right. And if you do have to grab your phone, just be like, I'm sorry, I gotta take this real quick.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
like
be polite. Yeah.
exactly. Like I feel like I don't know what it is with people nowadays to where we don't have that same sense of like, I don't even know if politeness is a word, but like you're not, hey, can you give me a second? Like I've really got to take this call or I really got to respond to this person. I know what, like acknowledge, right? I know what you're saying is important. Just hold that thought for 1 second.
Yep.
And if it's not important, like leave it be. They're not going to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody being like, yo, what you doing? That's not something you got to respond to right away.
Yes.
TikTok could wait. Reels could wait. YouTube could wait. Like all of that can wait for your downtime.
And back to the beginning of this point, resist the urge to do something else when someone that loves quality time or is trying to spend quality time with you. That's hard for me. And it's not that I'm tired of the conversation, but I just, oh yeah, oh, bro, for real, bro, yeah, babe.
Mid conversation, he
Oh.
doesn't even notice he does it.
Nope, it just blindly happens.
Yeah. And that's where, again, technology.
Yeah.
We're so used to this, right? We're used to this, having this in our hands, having it accessible to us, having it next to us. Like for Les to consciously make an effort not to use his phone, it has to be in another room.
Yeah.
That's the only time where you really won't.
Or charging because it's
Yeah.
dead.
That's the only time where you really won't use your phone.
Yep.
You
I
know,
agree.
versus for me, I'm a little bit different in that sense. But again, I don't know if I've said this before. I probably have. I'm weird. I get tired of things.
Oh,
I go into these phases where where I don't want to talk to
the one
people.
she's going through now, I despise. I want you to talk about it.
I don't feel like watching TV.
That's ridiculous to me, man. I'm gonna tell you why. We're big baseball fans,
Hmm.
and we watch the Mets play now since 2015.
Yeah.
Um, and that's our thing. So now she's in the phase that she don't want to watch TV.
And it's not even just baseball, it's everything.
Yeah, but she don't want to watch TV. No programs, nothing. I hate that because that's our time. Like in my head, I'm like, this
That's
is
your time.
No, it was our time.
I mean, yeah, but you find more pleasure out of it than I
Okay,
do.
yeah. Okay, that's true. But okay. So for me, that's back to the beginning. As long as she's there, it's cool. But she doesn't mind watching baseball either.
No, I love baseball.
So for me, it's like, oh, this is a win-win, you know? I get to have my wife next to me watching baseball games. We both like baseball games, but now she's in the phase that she doesn't want to watch TV. I respect it. I go through that phase, but my phases of that are very short. And right now I'm in a phase of the Bible. Like it's the
You
fir-
always in a phase of the Bible.
Yeah,
though.
but like it's heavier now. Like it's very strong now.
Pastor Les.
And so that's my phase now. But I have my quality time with God.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing. If you're a believer, quality time with God is so important. That one-on-one intimacy you build with God. And that's how we should take our relationships
Mm-hmm.
and our marriages.
And we do that first thing in the morning.
And we do that first thing in the morning, man. It's that important. It really is.
Not only that, but how many times you be like, oh, I woke up late. I'm busy. I'll pray later, or I'll read the Bible later. You ain't gonna do it later.
Yeah.
You ain't do it then. You ain't gonna do it later.
Yeah, and chances are you won't. And if you do it, you'll be so busy and caught up that when you do it, it'll feel like it's lacking.
It's not a genuine act.
It won't be genuine. But I'm doing it because I got to do it. God, thank you for this day. Blah, blah. No. Give God that quality time, that importance, because he thought about you so intricately that he created you in your mother's womb, right? So you mean so much to God. Give him that back. And to your spouses, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we used to. We were talking about this again last night. We had a very long conversation
Until I fell asleep.
until he fell asleep. But we call it pillow talk. The reason why we do it like that is because we have 4 kids. So when do you think that we're able to really have uninterrupted time to talk where someone isn't listening or interrupting? When they're all in bed. I mean, the boys aren't sleeping at that time, but they're in their rooms. You know,
Right.
the girls are sleeping. They go to bed at 9. So we have our nighttime pillow talk. You know, I'm sure that'll change as they grow and we become empty nesters and everything. But that's what we have, you know. So it's important for you to schedule that in and make a conscious effort to do it every day.
And then quality time, too. We got to go on dates.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta be better with
We've been
that.
slacking on that, too.
We made a thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna do every Friday we'll go to a date, and we did it for like 2 months, and then it was like, whoop, it went away.
It's so hard.
It's hard, but, and I say it openly, we need to make a effort. That's so important, bro. Like, that is so important. Dates with the person you're in a relationship, your spouse. That is so important. Guys night out, that's important too. Girls night out, that's very important. Because what you're doing there is you're building and creating quality time and memories and moments.
Mm-hmm.
Those things last forever.
Yeah. Don't view quality time with your partner or friend as needy.
Yeah.
Because some people might be like, man, Luke's extra. I don't care if my man be on reels while I'm talking to him. Well, I care. Okay.
You're
I
right.
care.
You're right. That's true. Just because you think it's extra doesn't mean it should be the way you think.
Right.
And it shouldn't even be the way my wife thinks or I think. But we all have our own desires on what we want in anything. And if your quality time is to be, is for the person that you're with to be fully 100% paying attention to you, then as the other person, you got to give it to them.
Right. Keep your technology stowed away when your partner has planned quality time. So you pretty much do this.
Yes.
And it'll be it'll be equal. So vice versa. Like Les will straight up tell me like, "Bae, no phones," and then I'll be like, "Bae, no phones." You know, so we both do that. And again, communication, right? And the last thing I'm gonna touch on is never forget to ask your partner or friend what they need to be loved.
That's a good one. I feel like I did that. I didn't do that last night. I
No.
fell asleep. I don't even know what I did. I remember the conversation, but I don't remember what happened right before I fell asleep. And then after, I remember trying to, please, babe. No, it's okay, babe. You're tired, blah, blah, blah. But we ended up finishing.
Yeah, we did end up, and I said we'll continue this tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't ask me. It's been a while since you've asked me that specific question. But what Les always asks me is, "What do you need? Like, what do you need from me today?"
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I appreciate from him, because we're going to talk about this in one of the episodes, what our two primary love languages are and why and how we address them. But like, I never realized quality time was so important to me, you know? So if he asked me, "Oh, what do you need?" Like last night, you know, I told him what I felt like I needed to make our relationship better, and for me to feel like he was not really loving me, because I know my husband loves me, but paying attention to my needs. You know, so we only have one more love language to touch on. So it's important that when you guys finish these 5, that you sit down and you talk about it and put them in order, you know, level of importance, so that way you both are on the same page, whether it's a friendship that you're trying to build up or it's a relationship that you're trying to build on. That way, you know, if you don't talk, no one's gonna know. You know, like they say, closed mouths
I just said
don't
that
get
in my
fed.
head. I just said that in my head.
You know, so if you don't talk to the person, they're never gonna know what's in your head. You know, it's all about, we're gonna keep saying it, communication.
Communicate to love. You gotta, if you love that person, talk to that person. And if their main love language is quality time and you know it, build on it. Since we're talking about quality time today, build on that being so important to that person.
Yes.
So I say this, babe, I will try my best to make sure that I fulfill your desire for more quality time.
One more thing that I just want to stress on is ask the person what that means to them. Don't assume that, like, if they say quality time, don't assume that just means you're
Let's
less
just chill and watch a
and
movie.
you just want to sit next to me.
Right,
Like,
right.
okay, quality time. Well, what does that mean to you? In a perfect world, what would an amazing quality time session be for you? And, you know, make sure that they're specific, because that way there's no confusion, right? They're being specific. My quality time, no phones. I want you to look at me when we're talking, right? Because that's another thing I hate. The kids do this to me all the time. Like, look at me when I'm talking to you. You know, I want you to look at me when I'm talking to you. You don't got to nod your head or anything like that. Let me finish my sentences before you start chiming in. You know, like, I can sit here and I can tell you what I expect, just like Les can. So allow that person to really explain to you what it means to them, what that means to them, so that you're both on the same page.
And I think men, I think that sometimes we got it so mixed up. I'm going to say this and then we finish. We think that intimacy is quality time. It isn't. I used to think that. I used to think that that would be quality time between me and my wife. It is not. That quality time is straight communication, bro. It's It's a whole nother level. That has nothing to do with quality time. Listen to what I'm telling you. Because if you don't know, or you're probably thinking this, like, man, that's quality time. It is not. And if she hasn't told you, Hopefully she gets the strength to tell you, bro, this is not quality time, because it isn't.
It's not. And it's something that I, I feel like it just takes communication to understand. Because again, Les and I, we are very open and we talk about these things. And I'll say something to him and he'll be like, that like every woman can't be like that, right? Let's just say. And then another woman will say exactly what I said and I'll look at him and be like, you see? It's not just me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And women are emotional. We are emotional men, okay? So quality time, that intimacy of conversation for us gives us something that physical intimacy does not.
Right.
And it's here. It's
For
it's
women,
in our
yes.
brain, right? So you guys have to really understand and learn how your spouse or, whoever it is, how they are, so you're able to feed that part of them.
Yep, I agree. So, guys, we hope that this blessed you. We hope that these episodes are of help. Going through it, it's really has helped me mentally, and I start to think more like, well, I just did an episode about this, so I got to sharpen that up.
Yeah. It's
So,
kind of like preaching.
yeah, yep,
When you preach about something, it touches you first. And that's kind of like how this podcast has been for us. We talk about things that as we're studying it or as we're reading it over again, it's like, oh, I'm like this. Or, oh, I forgot about this.
yes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in again. God bless you all.
Amen.
And anything you want to say before we go?
No, we love you all. We hope that you guys have a blessed and amazing week. And until next time.